The American public is hugely divided on every issue according to the media. But the truth is that the public actually agrees on most issues. The media sells division to this country. They do it to juice their ratings. They do it to make more money. This is all about money. Let's divide the country and we're going to make more money doing it. I'll tell you what, this was handled by, I think, one of the most, by a formidable progressive, wrote for Axios.
Yeah, and what's interesting about this is obviously they did what, Les Leopold had also done. They're looking at the numbers. They're stripping politics away from it because, yeah, politics is divisive. But when you look at what people actually think, what they want, and what they believe, pretty much everybody agrees on almost everything. I mean, huge majorities, left, right, and center, agree that, hey, it's okay to let immigrants come into this country. Hey, it's okay for people to own guns. Hey, it's okay for you to have your own religion,
or to be gay. Yeah, it's okay. Right. That's what most people believe. But the media takes these talking points, and this is a media creation. They take these talking points from these fuzzy thinking, hysterical fringe types. Well, on the left, it's the snowflake fringe. Everything they read on a headline, they're gonna accept. On the right, it's the snowflake fringe that buys into everything. And here's what we miss. These are people that watch either Fox or they watch MSNBC and CNN. That is all they live by, baby. That's all they understand. Fortunately, it's less than 2% of the population in America. Less than 2% of these snowflakes are out there watching MSNBC saying, oh my God, this is the new talking point. And it just perpetuates itself, right?
And look, the problem is with these networks that, again, only 2% of the country, between the two of them, actually watch.
By the way, between the two, that's right.
But the problem is the people who make the decisions about our daily lives, those folks in Washington, D.C., they watch these.
Yes.
And they get fed the division and they help spread the division, right? Yeah. Your Republicans are going on Fox, your liberals are going on MSNBC, and each side is saying, these people are evil over here. No, you're evil over here. And then when these networks push their agenda, whether it's to help their advertisers get another war contract or help Big Pharma kill legislation, those lawmakers who only tune into those programs, they buy into it. So it is a small portion that watches this. Unfortunately, it's the powerful people. Yeah.
If we do a show, the big mouths, the real snowflake big mouths, will show up in the comments. If you look at the comments compared to the likes are huge. But the comments, you may have 100 people who are just rabid. They can't control them. I've got to respond to this. And the response generally is being driven by what they've seen on either Fox for, when you do a show or when I do a show, it's what they watch on MSNBC and CNN. Papantonio's a Trump guy. Farron is a crazy a crazy communist.
Yeah.
Because this is what the media tells them to say.
Yeah.
The only good news is it's less than 2% of the population that fall into that, what I call real snowflake class. When we get the reports from our folks that follow this, you don't even have to read the comment. The first two lines, you understand, they're watching MSNBC, CNN, that's all they're watching. Or with you, they're watching Fox, that's all they're hearing. And so we just have to rise above it, don't we? We can do better than that. People believe we have a right to vote. They believe that in equal protection of the law. They believe that there's a right to freedom of religion, that there's a right to freedom of speech, that there's a right to privacy. That's what most Americans, those types of things, what most Americans believe. But you have the crazy fringe that feed on all of this. I don't know, get a damn job. What do you want to say? Go get a job, do something besides sit in front of the damn computer.
Well, the media wants us to be divided between, you and your neighbor, because if you're not, if you realize how much you have in common with that person next door to you that is a different, political affiliation, realize how much you have in common, then you'll realize, well, wait a minute, then who should we be mad at? You should be mad at those corporations. You should be mad at those politicians that are basically keeping these networks alive.
Yeah.
That's why they sell you division. Go hate this person so that you don't hate the person funding my campaign or my network?
I call them chatter monkeys. It's like James Carville, the chatter monkey of all chatter, coming on the air and telling young people that they're stupid, that they're lazy, that they've lost touch with reality because they won't vote for Biden. Like that's going to really help them turn out? But it's this chatter monkey mentality, man, and it's just getting worse. It's just getting worse.
It really is.
That's all for this week. But all these segments are going to be posted right here on this channel in coming weeks. Make sure you subscribe. I'm Mike Papantonio, and this has been America's Lawyer, where we tell you stories every week that corporate media just can't tell you because their advertisers don't allow them to tell you, or their political connections, they don't allow it because if you're too Republican, you got to color inside the Republican lines. If you're too Democrat, God knows you better not color outside the Democrat line. But we don't worry about coloring outside the lines. Hopefully we'll see you next week.
Ring of Fire founder and host of America's Lawyer, Mike Papantonio, has a new book, came out this week, called Suspicious Activity. Like his other books before it, this book actually deals with real legal cases that Mike Papantonio has handled, but in a fictionalized way. The book follows the character of Nick Dichotomous that Papantonio first introduced in his book Law and Disorder, and it carries on the story that began in Law and Disorder through Law and Vengeance, Law and Addiction, Inhuman Trafficking, and now Suspicious Activity. This book in particular deals with the financial institutions that have helped launder money for terrorist organizations, which of course is a topic we have covered extensively here on Ring of Fire. So, if you're a follower of Mike Papantonio's books, or if this is your first one, you can get your copy of Suspicious Activity now. Just go to MikePapantonio.com and place your order. And if you haven't already, check out Mike's other books, also available on MikePapantonio.com.